dolore, devo annunciare la morte del nostro Santo Padre Francesco.
Annuncio vobis gaudium magnum. Habemus papam. Cardinalem adrevos. Leonem decimum quartum.
Fratelli e sorelle, buonasera.
Over his 12-year pontificate, Pope Francis left a lasting imprint on the Church and the Vatican. He reformed the Roman Curia to make it more transparent and effective, while continuing the Church's efforts to confront clerical abuse.
Noi abbiamo il dovere di ascoltare attentamente questo soffocato grido silenzioso.
Committed to integrity, he introduced financial reforms aimed at greater accountability.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
He raised his voice for peace in Ukraine, the Holy Land, and other war-torn regions, and consistently defended the dignity of human life, from the unborn to the elderly. Reaching beyond the center of power, he traveled to the peripheries to stand with the marginalized.
Vieni da me, Emanuele.
By appointing the majority of the cardinals who chose his successor, he helped shape the Church's future long beyond his own time. Despite his many reforms, there are many challenges Pope Francis's successor faces. The most pressing ones include the Church's growing financial debt, increasing polarization, and divisions in society and the Church.
Of course, there are major challenges ahead. One is ensuring that the unity of the Church is preserved in matters of faith. Another is that what Pope Francis has initiated is now being brought in order and carried forward with greater theological depth. This applies especially to what Pope Francis repeatedly refers to as synodality. In Germany, and I believe in other parts of the world as well, there is still a great deal of uncertainty about what synodality truly means from a theological perspective. It's important that it does not devolve into distorted forms, such as a kind of parliamentary system, but that its spiritual and theological dimensions are fully realized.
The digital revolution is bringing new challenges. Especially pressing is the issue of work. Pope Leo XIV, by choosing his name, is directing the Church to respond to a new industrial revolution.
Today, the Church offers to all its heritage of social doctrine to respond to another industrial revolution and developments in artificial intelligence that bring new challenges to human dignity, justice, and labor.
Della giustizia e del lavoro.
I asked him, why you took this name? And he said, well, I was in doubt. Augustine is an Augustinian, or Leo. Then I chose Leo. Why? He told me, in this moment, we need a man with a clear vision of the church.
In light of the turmoil in the world today, including the social unrest we are experiencing, we are once again dependent on the Pope's voice. Just as we once relied on Leo XIII, so today we rely on Leo XIV. And I'm quite sure he will do the same.
Another big challenge of the new Pope is to guide the Church in the time of many wars. His first words as Pontiff were, "Peace be with you."
Questa è la pace di Cristo risorto.
It is the peace of the risen Christ, a peace that is unarmed and disarming, humble and persevering, a peace that comes from God, the God who loves us all unconditionally.
Incondizionalmente.
I am sure it will remain an essential part of his pontificate, but not in the sense of a sociological aspect or political aspects. He said the peace of the risen Lord. If there is no the peace of the Lord, man never will make peace.
Pope Leo XIV continued the theme of peace as well in his first audience with journalists and media operators, where he invited them to advance truth and disarm violence.
In this sense, the way we communicate is of fundamental importance. We must say no to the war of words and images. We must reject the paradigm of war.
The conclave has shown that the rifts that have been repeatedly talked about in the run-up to the election, almost a war between the so-called traditionalists and conservatives and the so-called progressives, are not true. Because when so many cardinals can present such a good result within 24 hours, it is also a sign that there is a consensus. And that is a positive sign.
There are a lot of challenges that Pope Leo will face, but what the conclave has shown is that the College of Cardinals has united around the new Vicar of Christ.
Tante grazie.